Let's begin.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Thizzle in the building. And today, I'm going to be talking about the 2022 film, Samaritan, starring Stallone, directed by Julius Avery. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. For the most part, I like this film. I didn't think it was anything incredible or mind-blowing, but I thought it was a decent watch. Javon plays a boy named Sam, who has an obsession with a legendary superhero named Samaritan that was killed 20 years prior in a battle with a villain by the name of Nemesis. After running into a lonely garbage man, Joe, played by Stallone, Sam is convinced that Samaritan is Joe, under a hidden identity. I thought the acting was pretty good. I'm seeing a couple people giving Javon Andrews a hard time for playing the kid, Sam. But I had no problems with his character. I actually thought he did a rather good job. I was rooting for the kid while Stallone was off screen. Speaking of which, I like Stallone as Joe, the garbage man. Nothing Oscar-worthy or anything like that, but I thought he did fine for what he was given. He's a working man that wants to be left alone by the world. I enjoyed the chemistry between Joe and Sam. Joe wants Sam to stay far away from him at first, but Joe eventually gives in and becomes sort of a father figure and the guy in his corner. I will admit that I didn't care so much for the villains. I didn't find any of them to be all that intimidating. I usually like Pilo Asbike. I know I butchered his name, but he usually does great whenever I see him pop up on screen. But in this film, he's a bit over the top, in a cringy way. At times, his attitude reminded me of a spoiled brat. His character in the film idolizes Nemesis, the bad guy, and he wants to become the next Nemesis, pretty much. I did not care for his right-hand gal, Sil, at all. I like the action in the film, but it's not throughout, and I would probably say a majority of it is probably near the final act. You have spurts of action as we go through the film, but really no lengthy action sequences until near the end. But when the action did show up, I liked it. The CGI is noticeable, but it didn't distract me too much. One or two moments are pretty cheesy, but for the most part, not bad. However, I didn't care too much for the opening credits and the animation style. The style that they chose was just a bit off-putting to me. I'm not going to spoil it, but I saw a couple people have problems with the twist near the end of the film. I personally didn't mind it. And there's an element of good and bad that I also enjoyed. I liked how the movie toyed with that aspect. I can't say too much without spoiling. The final battle between Stallone and the bad guy is a bit underwhelming and a little bit unbelievable considering Stallone's character, especially when Joe starts getting beat up a little bit by the Pilo Asbike character. But for the most part, I had fun with the final act. Overall, I do like Samaritan. I have problems with it, but I think it's a harmless watch, and I think it's a decent one to have in the background, which isn't a bad thing. I've had plenty of decent movies in the background while I'm working on something else and such. I would have personally loved this movie to be rated R. I think it would have been more exciting with more blood and grit and violence, but that's just me. This one was a little harder for me to land a rating, but I'm going to give Samaritan a 7.5 out of 10. Thank y'all for watching. It's been your boy Thizzle. Until next time.